Hey there everyone, welcome back to Lydia's Plate. Today in this video I am making hamburgers. Homemade hamburgers. This is our favorite recipe and they almost always turn out for me. I'm starting out with some onions and so that's why I'm saying they almost always turn out for me, because the last time I made these burgers I was out of onions. So you could totally not put them in, but I like that onion flavor in there, and so I had substituted some onion soup mix. Oh, please guys, don't ever do that. It was a nightmare. I mean, they tasted fantastic, but something in the onion soup mix made the mixture so incredibly sticky. It didn't matter what I did, I couldn't counter it. It was brutal to work with. I could have almost cried if I wanted to be emotional over it, but it was so bad. So just please spare yourself, learn from my mistake, and don't do that. But I love to put onions in here. I think they enhance the flavor so much. Adding onions into here just gives the hamburger so much flavor, and we don't prefer big chunks. Like, we're not picky, so we would eat it even if they were big chunks, but we don't prefer it, and it gets harder if your mixture is very clumpy, if that makes sense. So I like to blend these onions up as much as I can, and they also add a lot of liquid then and a lot of flavor. And well, I shouldn't say a lot, that makes it sound like you would need extra to help it, but no. Anyways, they just add so much to these burgers. They're so good in there. Again, if you don't like onions, this recipe will totally work, and just cut out the onions. Don't worry about it changing anything else in the recipe. Just cut out the onions if you don't like onions. But the onions do add a lot of flavor. So because I was trying to blend so many onions, there was a chunk that was too big and wasn't getting caught in the blades the way it needed to. So I had to give it a little bit of help, but here we go, away we go again, and I'm gonna get all those onions in here. So now that the onions are all in there, we can move on to everything else. We need 3 eggs, and the recipe will be in the description box. So if you don't have a pen and paper handy, don't worry, it'll be in the description box, and I'll make sure I put it in there. I know I've forgotten other times, I will make sure it's in there. So also 3 cups of milk. This recipe is pretty easy, like just remember 3, 3, 3, or whatever. Like, it's 2 pounds of meat to 1 of everything else. So it's 3 cups of oatmeal, 3 eggs, 3 teaspoons of salt. So you only saw me putting in a tablespoon because it's less measuring, it's easier, it's quicker. The pepper, I will include a measurement. I don't even measure it anymore because I know what we like, so I just sprinkle it over. And 3 cups of milk. Now that that's all in there, I'm gonna get it all mixed up and then clean up my workspace a little bit, and I can get on to actually forming the burgers. Now, this video is not sponsored, but I do love my Tupperware burger press. It works so well. It's getting old, but it looks like it is starting to get warped. I mean, I've had this thing for over 10 years, I think. I think I can safely say I've had it for over 10 years, and it has just worked so fantastic. So the next trick I've learned over the years is to use a measuring cup, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just gives a very good guideline when I scoop out the meat into the Tupperware press, and that is simply for the fact of getting fairly uniform burgers. Makes it easier for Mark, who is our barbecuer, our griller, whatever term you like to use. It just makes it so much easier for him to kind of get all the burgers done and ready at the same time. So I'm going to use a 1/3 cup measuring cup because that is the size of burgers that we like. Now here I'm getting all my pans ready. I love to use the bags from boxes of cereal. I think I've talked about this before in cleaning videos when people are probably wondering why on earth I am wiping down and cleaning cereal bags, but that's why. There is something about those plasticky bags. It works even better than wax paper. Wax paper works, parchment paper works, but hey, I'm trying to be frugal, right? So saving those cereal bags, they work fantastic for this, guys. Like, no joke. You'll see at the end, the burgers peel right off of these bags like nothing. So easy and simple. So here we go, on to making the burgers, and you will get a slower shot here yet of the burger actually just kind of peeling right out of the press. It works so well. I am not perfect at this. You don't have to be perfect at this. You will see over and over again, I am kind of touching up the burgers once they're already on the pan, and there was one burger that just gave me trouble. There was a little chunk of meat that I didn't have blended up into the rest of the mixture well enough. And so whenever I come across a chunk like that, it needs to be mixed back in with the meat, because I mean, I just don't like that flavor, but it does make it harder to make nice burgers. So I had to remake that burger multiple times, and finally it came out better. And so I just touched it up, and that was as good as it was gonna get. So here we go. This is that burger that just gave me so much trouble. You can see even when I was picking it up there, it had already broken in half pretty much when I was first trying to get it out of the press. Don't worry if it doesn't go perfect every time, and don't worry if you don't have the Tupperware press. You don't have to have it. Frugal living, Tupperware can be expensive, all this other stuff, guys. Don't worry if you don't have one. You can make nice homemade burgers at home without a Tupperware press. But I had a Tupperware party, and I got the Tupperware press, hamburger press, and so I have it, I use it, it works great. If you want to buy yourself something that's going to be helpful and make your life a lot easier, but you like frugal living and minimalism and everything, this is a good purchase. I am almost till the end. I just had 2 burgers left, so I'm just gonna fold a piece of wax paper in half and get those last 2 burgers done. The last one did end up slightly bigger in hindsight, just not because I was trying to be perfect, but because I would have liked the burgers to have been a little more even. Next time I'll probably just smash those 2 burgers together and just divide the meat in half and then make them, but I didn't. So this last burger did end up a little bit bigger, and then I cleaned off the little bits of hamburger that were everywhere and just added them to that second last one, which is what you're seeing me doing now. Yeah, I can see it in the video here that the last burger is quite a bit bigger, so that's okay. I know sometimes you're just hungrier and you like a bigger burger, so it will all work out. That's kind of the beauty of it too. That's the beauty of making your own burgers. I find it helps these items get cleaner better in the dishwasher if I do give them a bit of a soak, kind of a pre-wash, rinse, whatever you want to call it. All of these patties need to get downstairs to the freezer. So in this pan, you can see a couple of those burgers have some spots that look really, really dark. That's just because I used red or purple onions, whatever you want to call them. But I used colored onions, so you're just seeing those chunks of onions in there. I guess I didn't get them all perfectly blended. Oh well. So the burgers are all frozen now, and I'm just peeling them off of the packaging here now and putting them into these containers. You can see just how easily they peel right off of those cereal bags. It works so well. That's all done. On to washing all the pans. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Maybe you've learned a new recipe. Maybe you've just learned a new tip or trick. Then the video is already worth it. So I like sharing this with you guys. I like being able to help people. And I remember what it was like being a new wife, being new at cooking, even though I had taken cooking class in high school and everything. It was just not something I had pursued, living on the farm. And so when I got married, it was something I had to grow in, and I learned so much, made so many mistakes, and now I just want to be able to pass on what I've learned for anybody who wants to learn it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, hit that bell if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, and I look forward to bringing you more videos and giving you more ideas of what you can make to put on your plate. Thanks guys, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this, and I'll be back in another video another time. Bye guys!